Since coronavirus left China and made its way around the world, people have long thought that there is a chance that it may well have originated from a lab that cuts up coronaviruses in Wuhan, China. But of course, they told us that is a conspiracy theory.
This question about the Wuhan lab, we know that it's been debunked that this virus was man-made or modified or anything like that.
Agencies now have been tapped with investigating one of Trump world's most favorite conspiracy theories.
Donald Trump is still pushing the debunked bunkum, despite his own intelligence community's findings that is simply not true.
So why is it politically charged? Because Trumpers who were complicit in playing down the pandemic reality in America are now seeing more interest in the China lab theory as some kind of vindication.
Then, of course, came the reporting of our mate Sharri Markson. Her book is magnificent on this subject, and you've seen the reporting here on Sky News and, of course, in The Australian oh so often. But despite the fact that part of this reporting has been that Dr. Anthony Fauci, the person responsible for the COVID response in the United States, essentially the Brett Sutton of the United States, and just as important, just as dreamy to look at. Well, of course, he couldn't be questioned, despite the fact that there was plenty of evidence that monies were making their way from the federal taxpayer in the United States all the way to the lab in China.
It's very dangerous, Chuck, because a lot of what you're seeing as attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science. Because all of the things that I have spoken about consistently from the very beginning have been fundamentally based on science.
I am the law. Thank you, Dr. Dredd, or Professor Dredd. Sorry, I don't want to downgrade you. But, of course, the media in the United States have got it wrong for how long? Well, of course, they have to double down because they can never be wrong, right?
In right-wing media, they have a new villain on their hands, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the man who has been a trusted voice for so many amid the global coronavirus pandemic, has become a punching bag for former President Trump and his allies.
Right-wing TV has cast Dr. Anthony Fauci in the role of villain.
Grouchy Fauci, Dr. Doom and Gloom, Dr. Flip-Flop Fauci.
But now he's become a Republican boogeyman.
Jim, I think part of this is, just an attempt to divert attention from the former president's failures,
exactly.
Right? To try to move on from Trump's failures about the pandemic.
Yeah, because to talk about how something that killed how many people and destroyed the Western world for the best part of 18 months, I mean, whatever, small story. Who colluded with who in the 2016 election? Oh, no, that should be all day, every day on the Biden Booster Network. Well, step forward one of the well-known right-wing media figures in the United States. He appeared on commercial television to speak this nonsense publicly.
Perhaps there's a chance that this was created in a lab. There's an investigation.
A chance?
Well, if there is evidence, I'd love to hear it.
There's a novel respiratory coronavirus overtaking Wuhan, China. What do we do? Oh, you know who we could ask? The Wuhan Novel Respiratory Coronavirus Lab. The disease is the same name as the lab.
I'm sorry? Could you repeat this crazy conspiracy theory and pay attention to Stephen Colbert, the host, who's inching away because he knows he's right?
Oh, my God! There's been an outbreak of chocolatey goodness near Hershey, Pennsylvania. What do you think happened? Like, oh, I don't know. Maybe a steam shovel mated with a cocoa bean. Or it's the chocolate factory. Maybe that's it.
And one last time before Twitter cancels the man who, of course, they trusted during the entire Bush presidency.
It could be possible that they have the lab in Wuhan to study the novel coronavirus diseases because in Wuhan there are a lot of novel coronavirus diseases because of the bat population there.
I understand.
It's like the saying,
it's a local specialty, and it's the only place to find bats. You won't find bats anywhere else. Wait, Austin, Texas has thousands of them that fly out of a cave every night. Every night at dusk. Is there a coronavirus, an Austin coronavirus? No, it doesn't seem to be an Austin coronavirus. The only coronavirus we have is in Wuhan.
Yes.
Where they have a lab called, what's the lab called again, Stephen?
The Wuhan Novel Coronavirus Lab.
I believe that's the case.
Of course, no doubt in a couple of days' time when he's criticised for all of this, oh, it was just a giant prank.